Have you ever seen yourself in the mirror and had a sense of alienation, questioning where the energetic, unstoppable version of yourself has disappeared to? It's a silent thief that preys on so many men after the age of 60. It's the spark of energy that once propelled your days and the effortless confidence in intimate times. However, I can promise you that it's more than just the passing of the years. It's frequently something much easier to resolve, a hidden deficiency in your everyday diet that is depriving your body of the nutrients it needs to flourish. I'm Dr. Leila, a devoted men's health expert who has spent more than 30 years helping men like you regain their full strength, vitality, and passion without the use of drugs, intrusive surgeries, or anything else that seems strange or degrading. I've personally witnessed how minor, scientifically supported adjustments can rekindle that inner fire. And today, I'm thrilled to share a game changer that has been right in front of us. 3 common nuts that, when properly used, can alter hormone levels, blood flow, and general performance in ways that seem almost miraculous. Imagine this. It's not some trend or exotic superfood that you're chasing. Brazil nuts, pistachios, and walnuts are common nuts that combine to treat the underlying factors causing that waning vitality. They do more than simply fix problems. They magnify one another and produce a reviving ripple effect. I'll go over each one with you in the next few minutes, supported by actual evidence and anecdotes from my work, along with details on when and how to use them for best effect. Additionally, you'll discover how avoiding a cunning food trap that depletes the energy of even the most disciplined guys may result in more restful sleep, improved concentration, and a renewed bond with your significant other. Hold on, this might be the moment when things start to change for the better. To ensure you don't miss these personalized insights, click the subscribe button and ring the bell if you're determined to regain your advantage after 60. If this gives you hope, leave a 1 in the comments or a 0 if you have ideas about how I might help you further. Let's get started, beginning with a nut that is frequently disregarded but is the best for boosting circulation. First, let's discuss walnuts, or what I like to refer to as the circulation sovereign. Throughout my years of working with males, I have heard innumerable tales like the one about Robert, a 68-year-old retired teacher who entered my clinic feeling more than just physical fatigue. His eyes showed a deeper frustration, yet his mind was as sharp as ever. He leaned forward in his chair and said, "Dr. Leila, I no longer recognize myself. I no longer have the energy to get up and go, and even small joys with my wife seem like faraway echoes." I've heard courageous confessions from strong guys who believe their bodies are betraying them more times than I can remember. However, I want to share with you the truth that I told Robert. You're only lacking the ideal spark to rekindle the flow of your system. You're not fading away. Packed with L-arginine, an amino acid that your body transforms into nitric oxide, a natural vasodilator that relaxes and widens blood vessels, walnuts act as that spark. This implies that your muscles, brain, and yes, those important places for intimacy will receive more oxygen and nutrients. Nitric oxide synthesis decreases with age, which causes sluggish recuperation, leg tiredness more quickly, sleepy mornings, and a loss of that impulsive passion in bed. It is a failure of the distribution system, not a decline in desire. However, adding a little handful of walnuts each day can begin to change that trend. I suggested that Robert eat them an hour or so before going to bed. For purity, they should be raw and unsalted without any special preparation. Robert came back 2 weeks later with a smile on his face and a bounce in his step. He said, "It's like my body woke up," in a steady, animated voice. "I'm sleeping better, thinking clearer, and feeling that old reliability again." Not only that, but walnuts are a good source of omega-3 fatty acids, which fight inflammation, a silent killer that causes erectile dysfunction, brain fog, and persistent fatigue in older men. Walnuts provide these advantages in a way that your body can absorb and use, unlike many supplements. Additionally, they have natural melatonin, which balances your sleep-wake cycle and indirectly increases the production of testosterone during the day. Consider it laying the groundwork. Better circulation drives overall performance. Decreased inflammation promotes heart health, and restful sleep connects the dots. This isn't unique in my experience. I've worked with CEOs in their 70s who said that adding walnuts not only increased intimacy, but also gave them the energy they needed to go on family treks or golf outings that they had previously assumed were over. Harold, a retired pilot, was one of the guys who talked about how his evening walnut ritual helped him overcome the afternoon slumps that had been a problem for him since retirement. "It's like tuning an engine," he said, referencing his experience in aviation. "You clear the blockages and suddenly everything runs smooth." This is supported by scientific research, which indicates that regular walnut consumption is associated with decreased cardiovascular risk and improved endothelium function, the blood artery lining that determines flow efficiency. This nut serves as a gentle warrior, strengthening without being overbearing, for men over 60, where inflammation frequently develops as a result of years of stress or bad habits. It's accessible, reasonably priced, and rather than imposing change, it works with your body's natural knowledge. Walnuts may be the answer to reviving your energy if it seems to be stagnating, but keep in mind that circulation is just one component of the solution. A nut that builds on this foundation and targets endurance and confidence in those crucial moments comes next. Turning to pistachios, I refer to them as the endurance amplifier. Thomas, a 65-year-old engineer and loving family man, was hesitant to open up in my office until we met a short while ago. He paused, then quietly confessed, "I love my wife, but recently I've been avoiding intimacy. It's not the desire, but the concern that I won't measure up, and the dread of letdown is too great." These whispers, which are heartbreakingly common, show a lack of assurance rather than passion. The bright side? Pistachios are one of the natural instruments that nature provides to quickly and naturally restore that dependability. What distinguishes pistachios? They complement walnuts with L-arginine for improved blood flow and nitric oxide, but they take it a step further with a strong dose of vitamin B6, which is necessary for hormone balance, including testosterone, which is the hormone responsible for mood stability, sexual prowess, and muscle maintenance. You have a powerful tool for maintaining firmness and enjoyment when you combine antioxidants, plant sterols, and healthy fats that protect sensitive vascular tissues and reduce inflammation. This is supported by clinical trials. In one study, without the use of medications or devices, men who ate pistachios every day for just 3 weeks reported significant increases in the quality, duration, and general satisfaction of their erections. Thomas was first dubious, but he consented to sample roughly 25 unsalted pistachios in the middle of the afternoon when energy tends to decline and testosterone normally declines. When he returned 2 weeks later, he smiled and remarked, "My wife saw it before I did. It feels like I'm getting back a part of myself that I believed was lost." My passion is fueled by transformations like him. Men aren't flawed. They're just exhausted. Pistachios gradually replenish that reservoir, promoting not only bodily reactions, but also the associated emotional composure. Based on more general observations, I've observed that pistachios help guys who are struggling with metabolic slowdowns or post-prostate problems. Consider 72-year-old artist Victor. Likened to adding color back to a faded canvas, afternoon pistachios restored his focus and closeness after chronic weariness had sapped his inventiveness. Studies published in journals such as the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition demonstrate how these nuts enhance endothelium health and lipid profiles, which are essential for halting age-related deterioration. Time is also important. Consuming in the afternoon helps you avoid caffeine crashes by counteracting the day's hormonal decline. Pistachios provide a slight yet significant boost, regaining your sensation of control if endurance or self-doubt have been your obstacles. However, hormonal balance is the key to real longevity, which leads us to our last point. The harmony balancer, in my opinion, is Brazil nuts. Edward, a 71-year-old widower reconstructing his life, came into my clinic feeling completely alienated, and I will never forget our appointment. "Dr. Leila," he said softly, "I'm simply absent. I'm not depressed. Performing actions without the fire present." His testosterone levels were slightly low, which was sufficient to account for the emotional numbness and sluggishness, but not disastrous. He preferred a natural route back to completeness over synthetics or injections. I then introduced him to Brazil nuts, those enormous treasures that are sometimes missed in mixed assortments. What's their hidden weapon? For males in our age range, selenium is essential for testosterone synthesis, sperm health, thyroid function, which controls metabolism and energy, and prostate protection. Selenium is a trace mineral that is rare in modern diets. Over time, oxidative stress weakens hormonal homeostasis, while selenium protects against it. As a simple habit, I suggested that Edward begin with one Brazil nut every morning after brushing. One nut securely provides almost all of your daily selenium needs, so there's no overload. A few weeks later, Edward sat up straighter, his eyes unblinking. The cloud lifted. I'm engaged again, feeling emotions fully. This is confirmed by science. Studies published in the Journal of Endocrinology have linked low T, fatigue, and inflammation to selenium insufficiency. I've seen it in patients like George, a 75-year-old farmer who compared the selenium boost from Brazil nuts to fertilizing parched soil, since it reduced joint pain and increased libido. Food-sourced selenium absorbed properly, reducing toxicity hazards, in contrast to multivitamins with inadequate dosages. Maintaining mood, motivation, and connection requires moderation, no more than 1 or 2 per day. For Edward, it meant rediscovering happiness in relationships and pastimes, demonstrating that minor adjustments result in significant balance. When these nuts come together in what I refer to as the vitality nut cycle, a scheduled regimen refined through years of practice, the true magic happens. It's not haphazard eating, rather, it's deliberate synchronization with your body's cycles for enhanced effects. Eat one Brazil nut first thing in the morning to stabilize hormones and boost motivation and clarity. Enjoy 20 to 30 pistachios in the middle of the day to stave against dips and maintain your confidence and energy. Enjoy 7 to 10 walnut halves in the evenings an hour before bed to promote healing, reduce inflammation, and get a good night's sleep that improves everything. This synergy is exponential rather than additive. Pistachios create performance layers, walnuts guarantee smooth flow and healing, and Brazil nuts establish the hormonal foundation. Within days, patients report changes, improved intimacy, more stable moods, and deeper sleep. Partners notice by week 2, and many feel rejuvenated by month 1. Consider 67-year-old Samuel, who experienced the cycle after a heart attack. His vigor increased, his blood pressure leveled, and he resumed hiking trails, attributing this to the orchestrated nourishment. One unnoticed trap? Consuming too many processed snacks, which cause blood sugar levels to rise and then fall, thereby subtly reducing energy. Replace them with this procedure and see the healing process. It is feasible, integrating smoothly and without disruption. To sum up, gentlemen, I've learned from my experience with hundreds of men that you're not looking for superhuman abilities. Rather, you're longing to feel lively, wanted, and alive once more. These nuts provide a true food-first renaissance. Brazil nuts for balance, pistachios for poise, and walnuts for flow. Restoring time-eroded rhythms, they are enmeshed in the cycle. You're resilient, not broken. Begin modestly now. Brazil nuts in the morning, pistachios in the afternoon, and walnuts in the evening. Observe connections grow stronger. If this speaks to you, share with a friend, like, and comment on your progress. To support more empowering content, think about making a little payment. Keep in mind that your prime is still there, just waiting for you to seize it.